We are back with an alarming new study that's shedding light on the link between alcohol and heart disease for women.
A research by Kaiser Permanente, Northern California, found women who drink more than one drink a day are up to 50% more likely to develop heart disease. The CDC says heart disease is the #1 killer of American women.
NBC News Medical Fellow Dr. Akshay Syal joins us now for more. Doctor, always great to have us. So the study found women who binge drink specifically are at the highest risk for heart disease. How serious is binge drinking among women? How is that even really defined? How many drinks is that? What should people know?
Well, so what do you guys think? If I were to ask you how much is binge drinking for both men and women, what would you say if you had to guess?
I mean, my younger self would have said, like, you know, some high number like 5, right. But I feel like I would guess
it's 5.
It is.
Okay.
It's 5 for men. Okay. 5 for men, 4 for women is how they typically define binge drinking. And this study was a little bit lower,
at
4 and
once,
3.
like at a night, in a night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So even if you don't drink during the week and you have 5 on the weekend, that's a binge drinking, right? So in this study, you know, what they found was that binge drinking with women and men really is associated with higher risks of heart disease. And we have a graph here from the CDC, sort of showing what rates and what age groups are highest risk of binge drinking. And what we find here is that, you know, it's really the 18 to 44. It's the highest 25% in the 25 to 34. But guys, when we talk about which group is rising the most, it's really women. It's well-educated, high socioeconomic status women who are turning to alcohol more. It's really a problem of excess. And what, you know, we've talked about in the past holiday heart syndrome, right? Like around the holidays, people tend to drink more. It tends to affect their heart, but we're learning more and more that alcohol is a toxin to the heart.
2 questions come to mind here. First of all, why are we seeing more women drinking more? And then also, why are women seem to be more affected than men when it comes to heart issues?
So we did a lot of reporting on this when we saw, you know, during the pandemic, a lot of women were drinking. They saw a high risk of liver disease. And we were asking people, why women in particular? Why are they seeing the greatest rise? And I think, guys, a lot of it comes down to our culture, right? Like oftentimes you turn on the television and you see women, you know, the hosts are having alcohol as early as in the morning. And we see that, you know, shirts of wine is cheaper than therapy, or mommy wine time. It's become more socially acceptable, right, for women to drink. And we're seeing here now in the study, 51% higher risk with high alcohol consumption. Guys, that number rises to 68% higher risk of heart disease if you are a woman who binge drinks.
I mean, I just think, this feels kind of like one of those things where your doctor asks you how much you drink and you don't want to tell the truth.
Right,
but
right.
like, I am just going to say it. I think viewers at home probably feel like, yeah, I mean, out for somebody's birthday or celebrating something. I mean, 4 drinks over the course of a night. You have a cocktail at home, you get drinks, you go to dinner, have a couple glasses of wine. How concerning is that, you know, if you're doing that every once in a while? Or like, what is the line to draw?
So you want to find that balance, right, between those important life events and between your health. And what I tell people is, you know, we're learning more and more. In Canada is actually really progressive on this. They've limited alcohol to 2 drinks a week. Here in the U.S., we say men can have 2 a day. And, you know, the guys who run this, our government, are actually hinting we're probably going to be heading towards Canada because we're learning that no amount of alcohol really is safe. You can see here it's linked to certain forms of cancer, weak immune system, mental health problems, and, of course, heart disease like we're talking about. So, guys, what I would say is, you know, try to limit the daily drinking. We certainly want you to celebrate those important life events, and we know that it can make them more fun. But you don't want to end up in a situation where every night you're turning to alcohol to cope, and that's really when we see the problem.
Absolutely. Really important information. I think a lot of people aren't aware of some of those numbers. Like, it's tough to guess. Dr. Akshay Syal, thank you very much.
Anytime.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.